What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SOUN. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SOUN is up 1.18%, rather timid today. 1080 for the low, 1140 the high, and 22.9 million shares being traded. 28 is the average, so a little bit low on the volume front. And when it comes down to today, pretty much a lot of growth stocks are in the green because of this negative data. So the Michigan consumer sentiment came in a little bit lower than the forecast, which essentially is negative, but this is what the market does want because it is really kind of promoting future rate cuts, not for the June meeting, but now for the July. You're seeing a 66.9% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut, 30.8% likelihood of a 50, and then a 2.3 of a 75 basis point cut. So all in all, that's good. Very good for growth stocks, including SOUN. No news from SOUN itself today. The news that did come out yesterday was this, just saying that nearly 80% of US drivers would rather order food via a in-car voice assistant rather than wait at drive-thrus. So I think this is good. Not really a reason to buy SOUN, nor is it a reason to sell right now, but it just reconfirms on why we are investing in SOUN because this is a big deal. It goes to show right here roughly about 63 billion opportunity among on-the-go consumers. So this is a good thing, and I think overall over the next couple of years, this sector is going to be huge, and probably why SOUN's really focusing on it. You can kind of tell that based on the most recent Q1 earnings. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Based on today, even though you are seeing a little bit low for the volume front, a lot of big institutions are getting in. So these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So two sells, one for 324, other one for 112. Everything else is buys. Dark pool, I do feel like there is a lot of manipulation happening only because of this right here. You didn't have this pullback with a lot of other growth stocks. With SOUN, you did, which is kind of weird because throughout the day you had a lot of kind of stocks, growth stocks, really just either being flat or if not moving higher. So this is just once again more fund manipulation coming from institutions. But that being said, again, going back over here, big money is buying the dip, and based on the latest 13Fs, you are seeing pretty much exact same thing. So a lot of institutions have been increasing, and all of this did occur during Q1. So I'll continue to kind of monitor this, but as a consensus, you are seeing a lot of good optimism. Still though, you're seeing some puts being purchased and whatever else, but I think in its entirety, you're seeing a lot of optimism based on all the actual options though. Based on Q1, so going from Q4 to Q1, you did have institutions holding 10.07 million call options, and that is an increase of 95% quarter over quarter. Puts, unfortunately, is still significant. It's kind of high, 7.6 million, but that did go down roughly 6% quarter over quarter. So hedge funds definitely were taking advantage of the cheaper prices and the sell-off that did occur during Q1. So definitely good to see. And if you're one of those individuals that likes to kind of follow what big money is doing, definitely they are and have been buying. So let me know your viewpoint on that. When it comes down to shorts, they are returning 116,000 shares. 30.88% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 113.03 million shares overall being shorted. So good to see shorts are returning, but then again, if we kind of look at this teal line over here, they haven't really been doing all that much. So they're kind of sitting back, coasting at the end of the day. So yeah, it's I think SOUN, if it was to get a little bit closer to that 1150, then you would have saw some more manipulation. But I think where SOUN is at, like, shorts don't need to really do all that much to try to suppress it or whatever. But based on the options that are being done today, 3.59 million in calls, 862,000 in puts, 51% of all the options being done are bullish in nature, and based on comparing it to the last couple of days, rather low. So yesterday was 4.8, right now we're sitting at 4.4. Day prior was 15.6 million, 12.2. So that's when SOUN went absolutely parabolic, up 22.61%. So I feel SOUN could still do that again. It just needs that good catalyst. This type of kind of news. Nothing to be against SoundHound or anything, but I feel like it needs to be more operational based, saying that we got a new customer, saying that we are expanding, blah, 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 because they did mention that they're expanding, right? So I feel that is something that they can put out for good concrete news that in among itself would really be a deterrent against shorts. Shorts would return, and then obviously it would move up accordingly. Aside from all of that though, based on the bulls, you are seeing a consensus for it to be roughly around that $12 to $13 range, at least going into next week. Then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 10. So a little bit of a pullback. With today being Friday, just take note of this. So we have 9,000 in open interest at 11, 5,000 at 11.50, and then 11,000 at that 12. So as it stands, you're not really going to see any crazy mother of all short squeeze or gamma squeeze because of this. If SoundHound was to have closed above, let's say 13, then we could have a different conversation. But as it stands right now, probably not so much. But aside from all that stuff though, with it at 11.12, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 1073 is going to be a strong support, kind of bounce off of that general area. Flip side, 1204 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. No new analyst ratings, no substantial articles kind of talking about SoundHound. You still have the ambulance chasers. So I do want to bring it up because I've had a couple kind of comments saying, is this something to be worried about? I'm not a lawyer, so I just want to start off by that, but my experience covering stocks, looking at stocks, you usually see a lot of law firms putting out this type of PR to kind of play the field, if that makes sense. So ambulance chasers, as what a lot of people like to call them, they like to get clients, and this is why they are doing it. They're trying to build a case, because if someone just has one or two clients, or I guess investors in SoundHound that feel wronged, one or two isn't enough. They need like hundreds, thousands of people. So they want you to reach out to their law firm and just say, hey, what are you doing? And all this stuff. So that's basically it. So is it a reason to be panicked over? I think any lawsuit is something to be kind of cautious over, but I'm not really sure exactly what they are claiming that SoundHound was doing wrong. And I think at the end of the day, that's also why SoundHound wanted to be a Delaware corporation, because under that, it's harder for entities to sue them. So as far as something, I think it's just a good something to be cautious and watch over. But even based on their most recent earnings, they didn't really bring these up. So it goes to show that the company isn't too worried about them. That's just my opinion, but again, you do whatever floats your boat and stuff like that. But on the actual chart itself, so it is right now below the ALMA, currently below as well this 100-day moving average, so that's sitting at 1198, and then you have that 50 and 100-day moving average, or sorry, 200-day moving averages in the 9s. So I think SoundHound's just kind of stuck in limbo, is waiting for that big good catalyst to really push it higher, whether it be specific to SoundHound or let's say another tariff deal or something along those lines to really push it above that 100-day moving average. And if it does, then this is where you could see kind of explosive growth, similar to what happened kind of here between December and January. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts on SoundHound? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon to give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.